Let's take a breath. I love that song. I love that. What would I do if I knew that I were great? What would you do if you knew that you were great? What would you do if you decided that you were great? You made that decision that you're great. Because this month we're talking about the life-changing magic in decision. And the magic is in the decision making itself. And that's what we've been talking about. We're going to be talking about all month, making decisions, knowing that we're making decisions throughout our lives, each and every moment of each and every day. Whether we think about it or not, whether we are aware of it or not, we're always making a decision. You made a decision to be here. You made a decision to drink out of your water bottle right then. We make decisions all the time. We don't even think about it. And our decisions create our lives. And because that happens that way, it is so important for us to make conscious decisions and to be aware of the fact that we're always, always, always making a decision, always, always, always making decisions. So that means we always have the opportunity to change our lives. We always have an opportunity, no matter what decision I may have made over here, I have an opportunity to make another decision right here and right now. And that's the beauty of life. We can always make another decision. We can always make another decision. As my mother has always said, as long as you have breath in your body, you can do something different. As long as you have breath in your body, you can make a change. As long as you have breath in your body, you can make another decision. You can make another choice. And so that's what's so exciting about decision making, the fact that we can always do something different. So I ask, how many people made decisions, conscious decisions this week? Oh, look at the hands. How many people made conscious decisions that move things forward in your life, that made things better? How many people were consciously setting an intention to make decisions that were going to make things better? I'm liking all these hands I see. That's really great, because that means you're listening and we are all on the same page, all trying to move forward, all looking for expansion and growth and development and allowing God to be all it can be in and through and as our very lives. That is just so important. And so, I'm sorry? Okay, that's a decision. And so let's just continue to breathe and continue to look at, if you make a mistake, you can make a decision to change that. If you make a mistake, you can make a decision that you're going to do something different next time. If you make a mistake, you can make a decision that you're going to forgive yourself for making whatever the mistake was that you made. And so there's always an opportunity for decision no matter what's going on in our lives. And so today, the topic is the dream in your heart. The dream in your heart. Let's breathe that in, the dream in your heart. What is the dream in your heart? What is that dream in your heart, that aspiration, that goal, that thing that you want, that position you want to be in? What is the dream in your heart? And I guess a better question is there a dream in your heart? Is there a dream in your heart? You know, our dreams are conditions, they're aspirations, they're ideals that are really placed in our heart by God. The idea itself is God. And God is always imparting its idea of however it wants to show up as each one of us within us. And so that dream is implanted within us. It's a part of who we are. It's a part of our DNA. It's a part of us always. And so sometimes we are aware of it from being really, really little, all throughout our lives. Sometimes dreams are coming up each and every day, each and every moment, something different. We're dreaming of something different that we want, something different that we want to achieve, some different way that we want to be. It's all up to us. That's the important thing for us to remember. We have that power, the power to decide, I want to dream. I want to live my dream. I want to recognize my dream. I want to awaken my dream. I want to have a new dream. That power is within us because we have that decision. We have the power to make a decision, and we have to have the courage to make the decision. The power is already within us. The courage we have to cultivate sometimes. We have to cultivate it sometimes. And so just thinking about, is there a dream in your heart, or what is the dream in your heart? Is there something that you still want to achieve? Is there something you want to have? Is there something you want to do? Is there something you want to be? Is there some way you want to live? Think about it. Is it something that you've wanted to do all your life? Is it something that you brought forward from childhood? Is there still something that's seeking expression in and through and as you? That thing that would really make your heart sing. Is there something, that dream in your heart? Can you remember something from, as I said, from childhood? When I was a little kid in Alabama, and people would ask me what I wanted to be when I grew up, I always said without hesitation, Queen Elizabeth. And my mother would say, that's not who you want to be. That's not what you want to be. And I would say, yes, it is. I want to be Queen Elizabeth when I grow up. And she would be mortified because then I'd say to her, why can't I be? And she didn't have an explanation. It was too complicated. So she would just say, you can't be that. You have to want to be something else. Now, I was very, very serious about that. I don't know if I must have heard the name, but I don't know if I'd ever seen a picture. I don't know if I'd ever seen her. I just knew I wanted to be Queen Elizabeth when I grew up. And I don't know if that was the dream that God had imparted in my heart, or just, I don't know how I got there, but that's what I always said. What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be Queen Elizabeth. And I did. I outgrew that. That's not an old dream that I want to resurrect, but but I do remember that was a dream when I was a child. And for many years, I wouldn't say it as much anymore because my mother seemed to be so concerned about it. And she already thought I was the weirdest person she'd ever met. And I just got weirder and weirder to her. But at that time, she was still trying to get the weird out of me. But she never managed to do that. But at any rate, what is it that you wanted to be as a child? What is it that still speaks to you? What is it that's unfinished in your life? What is it that you would really like to maybe pick it up again? Maybe think about it again. Maybe dust it off. Because if that was, a dream is an original idea, as the reading says, an original idea from God. It never gets stale. It never gets old. It may be something that you cannot complete in the way that you initially thought you could, but it's still something that we can cultivate, that we can allow to have full expression in our lives right now. And right now. Right now. So I'm inviting you to make a decision to determine, is there a dream in your heart? And if not, open your heart so that there can be a dream. Open your heart so there can be a dream there. What is it that you really want to do? What is it that you really want to be? How is it that you really want to live? How is it that you want your relationships to be? What is it that you want to have? Whatever it is, in any area of your life, what is your dream? What is it that God has imparted to your heart? And I invite you to really, 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 really look at that and see, what is it that I want? And then you do the three-step process that we talked about last week. What is it that I really, really want? What is it that I really, really want? What is this dream that I really want? Do I still want it? Those are the questions. Do I still want this? If this is not what I want, then what do I want? And really getting clear. This kind of inquiry comes from our constant prayer, our constant meditation, our constant spiritual practice, working with the practitioner if necessary. Whatever it is to deepen our consciousness and our awareness of self so that we become more aware of what it is we want, how it is we can grow, how it is we can become all that we were created to be. This is a part of the visioning process. What must I become? How can I become? How must I become this? And we become it the closer we get to that source of our being, that intelligence in which we live and we move and we have our being. As we allow ourselves to be in oneness with it, we become more and more aware. We become more and more aware of how it wants to express through us, what it is imparting to our hearts, how it is that it would like to be as me. And as we do that, it becomes a dream. And then once we know what that is, we make a decision to have it. Make a decision to have it, whatever that dream was. I no longer want to be Queen Elizabeth, so I don't have to make a decision about that. But whatever it is I want to be, however it is I want to be, however it is you want to be, make a decision. that this is what I shall have. And then once we make that decision, we act upon that decision. We take action, we take our steps with regard to getting what it is we want. We don't have to do the how part of it, but there are things that we have to do. There are things that as I said last week, that the treat and move your feet part of it, we take it into prayer. We turn it over to God. We turn it over to our subconscious mind, and then we are guided to make the right steps, to take the right action, do whatever it is that we have to do on our part to make that come into reality, become a reality in our lives. And so what is your dream? What is your dream? Really think about that. What is your dream? What is your dream? If you don't have a dream, dig deep, because there's one there. There's a dream in your heart. You may, and the things that keep us sometimes from thinking that we don't have dreams is because, well, it's too late now. Well, I'm too old now. Well, I've waited too long, or the time has passed, or how can I do that? Or if anybody knew that, they would really laugh. Or whatever, those things that, the dream busters, the things that hold us back, the things that hold us back, it is never too late to live our dreams. It is never too late. We may not be able to do it the way we thought we could do it when we were younger, when at another time in our lives. It may have been a career that you may have wanted and decided you couldn't have it, but that doesn't mean that you can't do it now. It doesn't mean that you can't learn about whatever it was you wanted to do then. It may just mean taking a class. It may just mean opening your mind to the possibilities of a way that you can live the dream that you had, not the way you thought you could then, but the way you can now, being the person that you are today. But there's an opportunity always, because God is always alive and thriving and expanding and being, and it wants to do all that through each of us. And so the way that we, in our limited thinking, thought we were going to do something doesn't necessarily mean that's the way we're going to do it or can do it today. It doesn't mean we can't ever do whatever it is the dream in our heart is, and we just allow ourselves to be open so that it can be revealed to us, it can be revealed through us, it can be revealed as us. And so that's the important thing for us to keep in mind, that it is never too late. It is never too late. And so I invite you, what is the dream of your heart, to really, really examine that this week. What is the dream of my heart? What is it that I still feel like I have to give, I have to learn, I have to love? What else is it? What else is there for me to do? What else is there for me to know? And then the second thing I always come back to is forgiving yourself for not having done it. I always come back to forgiveness. Forgiveness is always there. Forgiveness is a constant. Forgiveness is just a constant part of our lives. It is a constant part of our practice. It's a constant part of how we live. It's a constant part of who we are. And so being in a place of forgiveness for yourself, for things you didn't do, for opportunities you didn't take advantage of, for the dream that you just allowed to lay dormant, for not completing whatever it is that you wanted to complete. Funny that I'm talking about forgiveness. I'm writing a book on forgiveness. I've been writing it for about 20 years now. And sometimes I put it down, and it just lays there for a while, then I pick it back up, and I have boxes and boxes of papers, because I write in longhand. I have boxes and boxes of papers, and bins of papers, of drafts and drafts and drafts. And then I have to forgive myself for not completing it, and then I start again, and I write some more, and I'm really going to do it this time. I'm really going to finish it this time. And then I get busy, and then it just lays there, and I look up, and months have passed, and I haven't touched it. And then I have to forgive myself again, and then I have to make the decision again. And what I recognize just in the last 24 hours is that I may have made a decision and acted on it, because a true decision is not a decision until we act on it. And so I'll make the decision, I'm going to finish it, and then I'll sit down, and then I'll really, really work on it for a while. And then I get distracted. Not in a negative way, but just get busy. And so my focus is pulled someplace else. And so then I'm off on a different path, and then I'm off on a different path, and then I'm off on a different path. And the last time I made the decision that I was really going to finish it was last year in October. Guess what happened? I came here. And so then everything stopped. I didn't get a chance to work on it anymore. And so when I put it down for long periods of time, when I go back to it, I have no idea what the little handwritten notes mean, the little things I put in the margin, and I wonder why I thought that was a good idea. What made me think that was great? And so, so I find myself doing rewriting and wondering and going back and saving this and then save as that. And then it's mind-numbing, the things that I have gone through writing this book on forgiveness. And then I have to forgive myself all over again because it still isn't complete. And so then I made a decision about 3 months ago, I think it was back in May or June, and I said, okay, I'm really going to finish this book. I don't care what. I'm getting it out. People at CLF think I've already finished it because I've been talking about it ad nauseum. So I'm going to finish it. And I even called in my friend who had been doing some editing for me. I called him in. He came over. He met with me, and he said, okay, we're going to really get this done this time. And I'm like, yes, we are. And I was really working on it, and I got to the last chapter. And then something happened here. I don't remember what. But something happens here every day. So I don't know why. I don't know why I got distracted by that. But I put it down, and I arranged pages so I would know what they meant. So these are laying this way, and then the other ones are turned that way. Because that'll make me remember when I come back to it. So if you walk into my office, I have to walk gingerly and then make sure I have the light on because I have them on the floor, and I'm afraid if I step on them, I'm going to, slide through the office and whatever. It's really a mess. That's all I'm saying. But I acted on it. And then I had to let it go. I had to put it down for a while. And so now, as I said, I have this much to complete with the editing process. And so now I carry it around in my briefcase everywhere I go. If I sit down in a restaurant, I'm writing on it. If I'm sit down, sometimes I don't even get to pull it out, and I got to go back and complete the edits. The edits into the computer, and I don't know what they mean. But you know what? Last night I made a decision. Honestly, it's a decision that I'm completing this book before the end of the year. Okay. I'm going to act on it. I am acting on it because I'm telling you about it, and I know you. I know you'll be asking me about it. I know you'll be saying, did you complete it? I know. So I don't want to hear it. So I'm telling you, I'm making the decision. I'm making the decision, and I'm acting on it, and it's going to be complete so that I can move on to something else. I must have at least 20 other books somewhere in there that are blocked by this one that I've been writing forever. So, it started out as a little manual to go along with my forgiveness classes. It now has morphed into this encyclopedic thing or whatever. I'm not sure what it is. But at any rate, the point is, I'm forgiving myself for not having completed it. I'm forgiving myself for telling people I was going to complete it and didn't. I'm forgiving myself for all that, and I'm making a decision to move forward. I invite you to do the same thing in your life. If there's anything in your life that you have not done that you really wanted to do, or that you didn't complete, or that you've been putting off, or that you've been afraid to move forward with, go for it. Go for it. Make the decision. Figure out if that's what you still want to do. Because I had to ask myself, do I really want to finish this book? Well, I'm so invested in it now, yes, I do. And then the second thing is make a decision. So I'm making the decision to do it, and then taking the action necessary to do that. So I invite you to do that. Forgive yourself if you haven't done it, and let that go. You can't live in the past. You can't move forward looking back. So just look forward at what it is you need to do, what it is you want to do, and keep moving forward with it. And then the next thing you want to do is to dare to dream again. To dare to dream again. If it's the old dream that you had, if it's one that you're dusting off, take a risk. Maybe somebody won't like it. Maybe somebody will laugh at it. Maybe somebody will have an opinion. But take a risk. Do it anyway. Hafiz wrote that a risk is only a risk when God isn't going with you. A risk is only a risk when God isn't going with you. A risk is only a risk when God isn't going with you. But you know what? If God isn't going with you, everything feels risky. If God isn't with you, everything is feeling risky. Every area of our lives feels risky when God isn't with us. And it isn't that God isn't with us because God isn't with us. It's because we are feeling that God is not with us. We are separating ourselves. We are buying into that sense of separation that makes us act like we are separate. And so then we get fearful and we get scared and we fear that maybe it's not good enough. Or maybe if somebody reads my book, they don't like it. What if there's criticism? What if all that stuff that comes up, we call it fear. Dare to dream again. Let the fear go. Let the fear go. Someone wrote that the only crisis is, the biggest crisis is fear, because when we're in fear, we believe in the reality of the crisis. When we're in fear, we believe in the reality of the crisis. But when we are in faith, we believe in the only thing that's real. And the only thing that's real is God. The only thing that's real is all that is. The only thing that's real is that one power, that one presence, that one mind, that one life in whose image and likeness we are made. And so when we keep that in mind, we can dare to dream again. And when we keep in mind that we are one with that and we can never be separate from that, we can dare to dream again, and then we can put one foot in front of the other. And we don't allow ourselves to get caught up in the, tied up in knots, the can-nots, the should-nots, the have-nots, and the am-nots. We don't get caught up in all that. Because when we remember who we are, when we remember that I am made in the image and likeness and out of pure spirit, when I remember that God is always right where I am, always guiding me, always directing me, always showing me the way, always living its life through me according to the space that I give it to live, according to the expansion that I'm willing to do, and according to that space that I'm willing to be. It is always seeking expression according to whatever I bring to the table so that it can express fully and completely. So when we keep that in mind, we can release the fear, we can release the doubt, we can release the what-ifs, we can release the knots and all that stuff, and remember that all we have to do is show up. Once we make a decision and turn it over to God, all we have to do is show up. Everything we need to know, everything we need to do, everything we need to be shown is provided for us. The how is provided for us. We don't have to know all that. We don't have to know all that. What a relief that is. That sounded like an Alka-Seltzer commercial. What a relief that is to know. What a relief that is to know that God is always on the field and that all we need to do is show up. All we need to do is show up. All we need to do is show up fully and completely and committed to living our very best lives. And so I invite you to dust off your dreams. I invite you to open your heart. I invite you to really move into a place of self-contemplation and self-awareness so that you are allowing God to show you exactly how it wants to live its life in and through and as you. So follow that dream in your heart. Allow it to reveal itself to you. And then act on it. Act on it. Make the decision today to act on it. And so let's turn within in this moment. So as we turn within in this moment, just recognizing that onlyness that is God. Just recognizing that onlyness that is my very life. Just recognizing this onlyness that is the life of each of us here this day. Just recognizing this onlyness that plants the dream in each heart, that is the dream in each heart. How awesome it is to know this truth, that this is my life, this is our life. And so just knowing this truth, I just speak the word for each of us this day. Just speaking a word of wholeness. Wholeness that includes courage and power and love and light and peace and harmony. It includes all the qualities of God. And all of those qualities are contained within each one of us this day. All of those qualities are seeking to reveal themselves in and through and as our lives in each and every moment of each and every day. And we say yes to them. We say yes at a deeper, deeper level. We let go of all that stuff that holds us back. We let go of all that stuff that would snuff out our dreams if we allowed. The fear, the doubt, the anxiety, the unforgiveness, the blame, the judgment. We let all that stuff go. And we open our hearts, we open our minds, and just say, yes, God. Thank you. Yes, God. Use me. Yes, God. Be me. Yes, God. Is me. And so in this moment, in this circle of prayer, I pause momentarily so that you may speak the names of anyone you'd like held in prayer. You may speak their names silently or loud, and you may speak them now. And so for all those whose names were spoken here this day, I know that God is right where each of them is, blessing and keeping them. This prayer goes out to anyone on this planet needing a prayer this day. This prayer goes out to the people in the Bahamas and all those who were affected by the hurricane, just knowing that God is in the midst, despite any appearances to the contrary, that all the support, all the help, whatever needs they may have, God is showing up as that, the thing itself, whatever is necessary for the healing, whatever is necessary for the healing of this nation, whatever is necessary for the healing of our bodies, whatever is necessary for the healing of our relationships, whatever is necessary for healing our sense of separation from God. It's here right now, whatever is necessary for that healing. The healing is happening right now. Thank you, Father, Mother God. Thank you, Infinite Presence. Thank you, Divine Mother. I'll just allow it to be now. And so it is.